We're back at Villa Park for the second time this week on the back of a win in Villa's first Europa League game of the campaign against Bologna. And with the monkey of a first home goal off their back, it's a chance to build momentum. Back in the Premier League, it's the turn of Fulham this time around, who beat Villa 1-0 in this fixture last season. Another big 3 points on the line. This is Matchday Live from Villa Park. And welcome along. The sun has come out. We've only had a brief sprinkle from the sprinklers, lads. Three former villains alongside me, Ahmed El Mohammadi, Lee Hendry and Jed Steer back with us. How are you?
Yeah, all good, thank you. Yeah, how are you?
Yeah, really good, thank you. Like I say, we're drying out. So yeah, unfortunately.
There, didn't we?
I know. They caught it on Thursday, viewers would have caught it on the show. But this time around, Lee, we've managed to get it out the way early. So yeah, there's a bit of bad luck out the way, surely.
Yeah, hopefully. I'm soaking though, to be honest. We need some towels on here, don't we? Just to dry out, particularly when, you know, the sprinklers are killing us off. Yeah, but the sunshine's out. You know, Almo's brought the sunshine down, so we're all right.
No complaints. And we've been hearing your voice a lot lately. Forest yesterday.
Yes, I know. It's unbelievable. I'm sleeping in the shed at home at the moment because I can't get in the house, honestly,
that's
believe
different
me.
Reasons.
Oh, yeah, we can't go there.
That's not work reasons, yeah, no. But Elmo, like you say, the sun has been brought out just for you. How was Thursday?
Yeah, it was great, to be honest. You know, first European nights at Villa Park this season, which is fantastic for us to get the result first, you know, 3 points to start well. And it was good as well, you know, to see Super Joe McGinn scoring our first goal in Europa League this season. Fans was fantastic that night as well, you know, so it's always good to start that campaign with a win, especially playing at home. I know we played Bologna last year as well in the Champions League, but it was good, yeah, to get the 3 points, start well in the Europa League that night. Hopefully today continue that, you know, and to get 3 points because it's a massive game for us this afternoon.
It is, isn't it? But the mood, it's so funny and so fickle in football, Jed, how quickly the mood can change. 3 points on the board, that win, the first home goal, Super John McGinn with it as well, hoping to bring that atmosphere into today's game.
Yeah, football changes so quickly. You know, a couple of wins and everyone's on a huge high, confidence is high, and a couple of not so great performances and a couple of defeats, and it all changes. So it's about getting back to winning ways right now for the club. It's obviously performance-wise, it hasn't been great. We've picked up a couple of results. Obviously, big win, I almost said, in the cup on Thursday. So it's about putting a base down now and trying to build on it. And you know, what an afternoon to try and do that.
And Fulham as well, Lee, who, as I said, we managed to beat 1-0 in this fixture last year, who have a very poor record when they come to Villa Park. So in terms of a team that you want to be facing next, I know that there's going to be a lot of nerves still about the place, but the fact it's Fulham with their record here, that can surely only be a positive at this stage.
Yeah, listen, we've got to take every positive we possibly can at the moment, haven't we? I mean, the season hasn't got, for me, off-started. It really hasn't, and that's where we need to sort of take all the positives out. Listen, if we perform or get anywhere to the levels that we did on Thursday evening, where I felt that we had a bit of a hunger and a little bit of bite about our play, you know, I think that we will certainly turn Fulham over. They're no more because they've started the season relatively well. Marco Silva's done a brilliant job at Fulham, and they've got some very talented individuals in that squad that he possesses. So I think today it's all about really, as Jed and the guys saying, and Almo saying, is that, you know, I think you try and create that bit of momentum, don't you? And that's where we have to have that belief. We could have probably won 2 or 3 on Thursday evening, which would have given us probably a little bit more confidence. You know, Ollie, you know, unfortunately missing the penalty, but he's got to go again. He knows what it's all about. We all miss chances. We all need to get behind the team. And hopefully that gives us an edge more confidence than what we've had recently, because I think that's so vital.
Confidence is so key, Jed.
I think it's really important today as well to start well and really come out of the blocks, come out the traps and set the tempo. It might take a tackle, it might take just something, give the fans something to cheer about and get everyone behind us, because that's exactly what the boys need at the moment. It looks like we are lacking a little bit of confidence. And today, you know, with everyone behind us, I think it's a great opportunity.
There you go, then, yeah, we're going to call upon the crowd and the fans in a
it makes a huge difference, it really does.
Oh, completely, like I say, literally hearing it from the horse's mouth to know how much of an impact it actually makes. So, yeah, everyone's going to have their role to play. But should we get some team news for you? Starting with Aston Villa. Now we have 5 changes. Emi Martinez is back from injury. Matty Cash at right back. Esri Konsa in the heart of defence alongside Tyrone Mings. John McGinn, the goal scorer on Thursday and our captain. Harvey Elliott comes in for his start. Ollie Watkins up top. Luca Dean back into left back. Lemaire Bogard in the heart of midfield. Morgan Rogers in return and Evan Gesson. But again, a strong bench with likes of Jadon Sancho, Donyell Marlin on there as well. Now in terms of Fulham, but Leno comes back into goal. Calvin Bassey, Anderson, their captain. Jimenez, Wilson, Sander Berge, Iwobi, Lukic, Castagna, King, and Sessegnon. Kevin is on the bench for hugely exciting purchase for them during the transfer window. So lads, starting with Aston Villa then, Elmo, a whole load of changes. Were you anticipating that?
It's expected, you know, when you play in Europe, there's always going to be a rotation around in and around the team, but everyone is ready to go on, you know. Starting Harvey Elliott, this is the first start in the Premier League, which is, you know, at home is going to be massive for him personally. Of course, you know, Tyrone Mings is back alongside with Esri Konsa at the back as well. They've been together, been fantastic, absolutely, for years now, playing together. Martin is back in the keeper after missing on Thursday. But yeah, it's always going to happen, you know, when you play in Europe, it's going to be a rotation in the team. But everyone is ready now. You got a big squad. Everyone is looking for a place in the starting lineup. So it's good, you know, to see Oli back in the starting lineup as well. It's for his confidence, because as a striker, you know, and everyone knows that, you know, sometimes you come into a dry spell as a striker. He's been there before, but when he comes back, he's flying, you know. So hopefully it starts with him today to get his first Premier League goal this season, you know, and I hope he score a couple of goals today to just get his confidence back.
I think it's important. I mean, touching on Ollie Watkins, listen, striker's probably one of the hardest positions apart from goalkeeper, say. But no, I mean, listen, there's a big onus on you, particularly when you look at the start of the season where we haven't been scoring goals. And listen, Ollie's big enough to take, you know, criticism, take things on the back, and, you know, he's thick-skinned enough to really bounce back. But what I'm really pleased with that he's starting today, because I feel this gives him another opportunity, and he'll want to put that right, won't he? Yes. The miss from the penalty. Listen, you don't step up and go, I want to miss a penalty on purpose. You know, you've got the whole crowd behind you, willing you to stick that away. And unfortunately, it didn't happen. This is football. This is where you have to get on. You have to have that belief. But I'm really, really pleased that he's playing, and Harvey Elliott, because I feel that he deserves a shot. I think he'll give us something different from midfield.
Fair play to the manager as well to start Oli today after he's missing the penalty. It's just confidence, you know. The manager is believing on him, you know. He just, like we said, you know, it's a striker. You always have a dry spell, you know. He's been there before, Oli, and he came back and he's been absolutely flying. Get his place in the England squad as well. So hopefully today to be a start for him.
It's such a good point that you both make there about the confidence in the manager, because of course all the talk has been about Ollie Watkins, Morgan Rogers, Jed, and the fact that Morgan had to endure that quite a nasty, sarcastic response at one point from the crowd, which I know from looking at social media, a lot of people sort of regretted. They didn't expect it to be, you know, made that sort of obvious. So now is a good opportunity for the crowd to get behind a player that has given the team so much, and again, vote of confidence from Unai to put him in. Yeah,
I'm really pleased that he's playing today, because it could have been easy to take him out and give him a little rest and, you know, give someone else an opportunity. So look, Morgan Rogers has been brilliant since he's come to the club. He's produced so much quality on the football pitch, and what I loved about him, and I love about him, is even the other night he still wanted the ball. You know, even after that sarcastic
he was showing
shit, he was still looking. He still really wanted the ball. He wanted to make things happen. It would have been easy to hide and sort of stand next to players and not want the ball. So that just shows the type of player he is. He always wants the ball, whether it's going well or not. And look, I think he's just got to play through it now. You know, I know Unai Emery's given him the opportunities to do that. Confidence obviously isn't quite as high as he would have wanted it to be, but keep playing the minutes, get through it. Everyone goes through a spell like this. You must have gone through a spell like this, Lee, where, you know, it doesn't quite go your way.
It is. I was just doing the boxes upstairs, and I was saying that, you know, listen, he's a young man. There's no doubt of that. There's so much quality in there, and we've seen that last season. You just said, Kate, you know, at times he won games for us. He's not a type of player who's going to chase back and start kicking people and you know, upending people. He's a type of player that wants to get on the ball. He wants to instigate things, and Jed makes a big point. You know, at that young age, still trying to make them passes and they're not coming off. Honestly, it's damaging. But I've been a young boy here myself, where I've had fantastic games, and then all of a sudden I've gone through a bit of a bad spell where the fans have got on my back because I've mislaid a pass, and they're so used to seeing that top level from Morgan, because let's be honest, since he come into the football club, he surprised so many people. So that level there, he's dropped down. Top players have to try and find a way getting there. He's a young boy. Let's not give him a hard time. He will get back to having them big performances again.
Yeah, the manager said it himself as well, you know, the people sometimes forget how young he is, you know, he's still learning as well. So the guys made a fantastic point, you know, some players, sometimes it's not going well, you know, they hide and that, but big players, they don't hide, you know, they don't hide on the football pitch. So he's been absolutely fantastic, you know, and he was a young player of the season, last season, for a reason, you know. So it sometimes, you know, it's not coming off, but you know, you have to keep going. You just stick with it, you know, keep going, and it will come at one point, you know. So hopefully today to be the start for him and Oli as well.
Well said, lads. Yeah, we're going to get more reaction to team news and also Fulham's team news as well on the back of this advert break.
There are so many words, man. If I had to choose one, I'd say magic. Yeah, magic for sure.
The whole end, there's nothing like it. I think for a lot of people, football is a religion and the whole end is the church.
This is Villa. The fans expect us to win, and you know the whole end's the driving force behind that.
It represents the centre of the club.
The whole stadium depends on what happens in the Holt.
It's the noise and vocal support of the club.
It's like a heart pumping blood to its body.
When you score at Villa Park, it's always special, but scoring there's even more special as a Villa player.
Everything in your life you forget about. You feel every kick, you feel every shot, you feel every tackle.
We always end up kicking off, you know, with the whole end behind us. As a centre-back, I can hear the support, hear the crowd, and, you know, really gets us going.
You finish the game, you're tired, you know, you've been part of it, you're the 12th man. It's family. Everyone here is family.
That old cowpoke went riding out one dark and windy day. Up on a ridge he rested as he went along his way. When all at once a mighty herd of red-eyed cows he saw, a-plowing through the ragged skies and up a cloudy draw. Yippee-yi-yi. Their faces gaunt, their eyes were blurred, and shirts all soaked with sweat. They're riding hard through kits that hurt, but they ain't caught them yet. 'Cause they got to ride forever on that range up in the sky. All horses snorting fire.
Go higher, wee John.
As they ride, don't hear their cry. Yippee-yi-yi. Riders in the sky. The ghost riders in the sky.
Welcome back to Matchday Live. Now, something a little bit special for you. You might have noticed we have removed our usual three pundits. We brought in two very special guests because, of course, today's match is a Play Safe match. Now, Play Safe has been designed to help young people share their voices, shaping their football experiences. So, as part of Birmingham Children's Hospital Matchday Takeover, we've had a whole load of children in different roles. Now, I have Finn and Grace with me here, who are going to be our Villa TV pundits for now. Great to have both of you here, looking fantastic in your Villa finery as well. How excited are you to be here, Finn?
Very.
And what about you, Grace?
Very excited, yeah.
Now, we were just having the discussion beforehand about what football teams you actually support. So, Grace, come on, you may as well kick it off.
I support Liverpool.
There you go. She says with bated breath there, but we can forgive that. What about you, Finn?
Aston Villa.
There you go, then. There you go. Right, mic in your hand for that one. But what's the reason you support Liverpool, Grace?
I just like the club, like all the players, how talented they are, yeah.
And who's your favourite player?
I love Harvey Elliott.
It's perfect, isn't it? Hasn't that worked out perfectly? So how pleased are you to see him at Aston Villa now?
Yeah, a bit disappointed, but I think he'll get on really well, yeah.
At least you get to see him today. That's the most important thing. What about you, Finn? Who's your favourite player?
John McGinn.
What is it that you like most about John McGinn?
Oh, I don't know, just his enthusiasm for the team. And
he really gets them driving, doesn't he? He really gets them going.
Motivated.
Motivated. That is a perfect word. And what is it about Harvey Elliott you like most, Grace?
He's always just passionate. He puts everything on the pitch, and yeah.
Now, what roles have you two actually got here today? Of course, you're going to be our pundits for now, but what are you going to be doing throughout today, Grace?
Like the press conference, talking to the players after the game, yeah.
Oh, amazing. So you're hoping for Harvey Elliott, I'm guessing?
Yeah.
Do you know at this point what you're going to ask him? Is there anything you've been burning to ask him, or are you just going to ask him about the game?
Yeah, just about the game, yeah.
See how it goes, see how it goes. Well, you're a pro already with the microphones, holding it perfectly in place here, so you're already media trained, more so than our usual pundits anyway. Are you going to be doing the same, Finn?
Yes.
How excited are you about that?
Very.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Now, of course, aside from the game, you've got some very important information that you want to be delivering today.
Yes, so if anyone, I'm not sure on the details, but I'm sure you can look them up, please spend a minute of time looking up and signing up to the stem cell donor register. It can save lives.
Oh, so well said, exactly, and a hugely important message. Like I say, we're all here for football. This is only a bit of fun, really, isn't it, on the side? There are a lot bigger things going on in the world, but this is just our chance to have a little bit of fun today. Well, you have both been incredible, so thank you so much for your time. Now, we're going to tee up a little bit of a feature from Thursday night. Super John McGinn, your favourite player, of course, scoring the goal on Thursday. Can you both show me a celebration? Beautifully done. What a better way to tee up a VT. Enjoy this. Oh, I don't know about you, but I'm just still brimming because of Finn and Grace there. How fantastic was that? We'll get into Bologna in a second, but oh, Jed, how cute was that? You had your ears in the whole time, heard everything.
Brilliant, wasn't it? They spoke really well. They made it look really easy, to be honest with you. Yeah, that was brilliant.
I think they're better than us, to be honest. We give them the job.
Come back.
Full of confidence.
Weren't they? Oh, that was brilliant. And such an important message as well, Elmo, today, isn't it? Of course, kids here from Birmingham Children's Hospital. I said just beforehand, there's so many bigger things going on in the world than football, and that was just a stark reminder.
Of course, yeah, it's the kids, enjoying playing football. We all been there as a young kids, it's the only thing that makes you happy, playing football, just go around and play with your friends and that. So just seeing them speaking there, like we said, they're full of confidence, so it's great to see them, so hopefully a great future for them all.
Oh, definitely so, yeah, great to speak to them. Hopefully we'll get to speak to Finn and Grace again later. Now, we had better get back to the football, though. Bologna in midweek. We spoke about it at the top of the show, Lee, a little bit there, but what did you make of it? I know it was scrappy in parts, but there were glimmers, dare I say. Would you agree, the fact that we could see the Villa from last season in parts?
Yeah, I thought we there was a better tempo about the way we played. I thought we went about it there was a bit more aggression, a bit more fight. And listen, I think European competitions are completely different. I really do. I think, you look at the Premier League this season and we're coming up against a lot more sterner better teams, I feel. I think the Premier League's a lot stronger this season. So to come away from the Premier League and adapt back into Europe, I thought it was really good, and it was a nice game for us to really give us that little bit of a lift and a little bit of confidence. I felt that we started on the front foot. John McGinn's goal was superb, and I think it could have been 2 or 3 on the night. It really could have been. You know, even take the penalty out of the equation. I thought we were the better side, and all we've got to do now is just believe from that performance and that result, because it's amazing what a result does for the football club. It was nice to see the fans really getting behind the team as well. That's one thing that stood out for me, even, like I say, the Ollie penalty, you know, to hear them really chanting him to urge him on. But a really good result, and hopefully we take the similar sort of performance and style into today's game.
And of course, it had to be John McGinn, didn't it, with the goal? He just seems to set the tempo, set the precedent, as Finn was saying there in himself, the motivation. And his goal-scoring record in Europe for Villa is quite something. So, I mean, the goal, it came about originally from a set piece, but it was just John McGinn all over it.
Yeah, he was there to hit, wasn't it? And it sat up nicely for him. He took it really well, because it did just bounce up, little short corner routine here. They just keep the ball alive. And the set pieces, that's a big part of it. And look, he doesn't hit it as well as he probably would have wanted to, but I always say as a goalkeeper, the shanks go in. You know, they always find themselves into the corner. It's always the case. It looked like the keeper was blinded as well there, so he couldn't really get a proper dive off. But John does what he does, and he sets the tempo, he gets after people, he's good on the ball. And I think as a captain, that's exactly what you want to see.
Yeah, we saw it from him, didn't we, Elmo, against PSG last year. So for him to come back just when you need a lift, this is why Unai Emery likes John McGinn so much, because he just gives you something extra.
That's why he's a captain, you know. John's been at the club for many, many years now, you know, played alongside him as well. I know his character very well. He just taken, you know, so good, you know. We were here in the show before that game, and we were talking about how Bologna is going to set up, like very Italian style, you know, defensive, just behind the ball and that. And we need to use that players who's very good at shooting, like Matty Cash did against Sunderland, you know, hitting that ball from outside the box. So John McGinn took it very well. He's so good at these things. Good, so many players, you know, very good at shooting from outside the box. John, Telemans, you know, Kashi, Madsen, Oli, Morgan, all of them. We need to use that. And like you said, you know, it was a very good set piece from Aston as well. So fair play to Aston. They worked very well. I know Morgan missed it in the first place, but John was there to score. And like Lee said, you know, could have been 3 or 4. You know, you take out the penalty as well. But it was a good night for the confidence for the players to get a win, 3 points. The fans were happy. Just take that momentum into this game. You know, this is the message from the manager today. You did very well on Thursday. Keep that going. Keep that momentum going, because you know what? It's a big week coming up for us. You know, you got Feyenoord on Thursday, Burnley here on Sunday before the international break. So make sure you got that 9 points before the international break. Go in there full of confidence, everyone will be relaxed.
And of course, at the other end of the pitch, Marco Bizot getting called up again. I mean, he's been thrown into the deep end quite a few times already this season, but miraculous save at the end from him as well, Jed.
Yeah, I've been really impressed with Bizot. He's come into the side when called upon and performed and done a job, and I think you know what you're going to get from him, which is exactly what you want from a backup goalkeeper. We're just seeing the save here. What a save that is! A looping header towards the far post. When that happens, you think, oh my God, I'm in trouble here. You know, and you think, oh,
why is that? Why do you think that?
You can just tell by the loop of the ball and your positioning at times when it goes into that near post. And as soon as you see it looping up and over your head, you have to rely on your footwork to get you there. And for a big guy, he moves his feet really well. And I've been really impressed with him. And it's just a shame that, you know, when I was sat behind Emi Martinez, I never got an opportunity like he has. So, but no, Emi's back in the team. World-class goalkeeper. It's great to see Emi back. And yeah, he does what he does best, Emi.
It's great to have the options, though, isn't it? And to know that your backup is as good as Marco Bizot. And Lee, we spoke about the atmosphere earlier on and how important the fans are. We've heard about it plenty in midweek from the press conferences, from Bogart's interview as well, how crucial the fans are. And the atmosphere again there the other night, it may not have been quite what we saw from the Champions League last year, but it was still something special.
Yeah, it was. The European nights are always special. Every game that I've been here as a youngster and watched and played in, they've been really special evenings, and I think that's what's important. I think sometimes, you know, when you've got that little bit of pressure on you from the Premier League, it's great to have a competition, a European sort of situation where it's completely different, you know, maybe that little bit more relaxed, but you know that the fans love these evenings and the players love them. So it's great to see that the fans have really, you know, buying into what this club should be in Europe every season, and that's what we've built to get to where we are now. Whether it is Europa League or it's Champions League, we will get back to the Champions League, there's no doubt of that, but European evens are massive, and you'd be so surprised what the lads would be thinking in the change room come the end of that game, thinking, do you know what, the fans buying into it, they're giving us that confidence, and the confidence, 5% confidence from these fans is absolutely huge in the change room, believe me, and that's what they gave us on Thursday.
You're agreeing there, Elmo?
Yeah, of course, yeah. Fans played a massive part last season in the Champions League, you know, especially when big teams come in here, the likes of Bayern Munich, Juventus, Celtic, PSG as well, so they played massive parts. That's why, you know, the Villa fans loves the European night, you know. Under the lights here at Villa Park is fantastic. That's why they give the team a lift, you know. This is what they did on Thursday, and they're going again today, you know. They know. They're coming here today, they know this is a massive game for us. Need the first 3 points in the Premier League, needs to score some goals to get that confidence and momentum going to Thursday and Sunday as well.
And of course, yeah, as Elmo says there, Jeff, Feyenoord on Thursday, a bit of history there as well then for the club, lovely bit of synergy. So looking forward to that again, another European away day as well. So naturally they're going to be wanting to go there on the back of a win here. Yeah,
and obviously winning Thursday, if you can go and win today, it just creates that momentum, and that's why these European games are, I think, are brilliant in the midweek, because you know, 3 games in a week, if you get a couple of wins, it can make a huge difference to confidence and like I say, getting the season up and running. So to go to Feyenoord away from home, you know, it's what as a player you must love. I never played in a European competition, but you know, it's those away games that obviously it's great playing at home in front of your own fans, but I think those away games must give that extra European feel to it.
Yeah, they do, and I think in particular Unai Emery has been absolutely a serial winner in the competition.
The record holder of the Europa League, yeah.
It's not like, and this is not disrespecting the Carabao Cup or maybe the FA Cup to a certain extent, where you are making a hell of a lot of changes. This is a European competition, this is silverware that we're expected to go and win. So you can't be laying off, you can't be thinking we're just going to turn up and put out a half-decent performance. It's taking a performance like we did Thursday to give us the confidence of going into a Premier League game today against Fulham.
It's not an easy game in the Europa League. You know, all the teams are there is very good. That's why they're in the Europa League for a reason, you know. And like you said, you know, the manager holds the records, is putting a little bit pressure on the team, but at the same time it's exciting as well. And the manager knows that. He's been there, he won it before, and knows it's going to be a pressure, you know, because you're asking any team now. I were there in the draw. Villa is the favourite team to win this competition because of the manager, of course, and the history of the club. So it creates a little bit of pressure on the team and that, but in the same thing, it's exciting for everyone involved with the club.
Now I'm going to throw it back to today's game because it's actually a stark reminder, isn't it? As Fulham would kill to be in Europe in any sort of form. That's what they keep striving towards. They are going along pretty well so far this season, Jed. Looked at their lineup, if you can remember how they're lining up for their team. One player who was doubtful whether or not he's going to make it today was Kevin. He's on the bench. I want to start with him though. What have you made of him so far? Been impressed or still got more to come?
I've been impressed, but I think there's still more to come as well. I think he's been a really good signing for them, and obviously he's missed a few weeks, but to have him back on the bench is massive for them. I really like Marco Silva, the manager. I think he's a top manager, and you know,
you still think he'll be here this time next year at Fulham?
I think he will be. I actually think he will be. I think obviously unless another top team come in for him, you know, there's so many great managers out there, but I think what he's doing with the Fulham team has been really good, and he's gotten playing some good football as well. And yeah, I feel like every sort of few months he gets touted with a job. He's been linked with a job in Saudi all the time, and he keeps getting asked about it and saying no, I'm staying and stuff. So he's a brilliant manager, and Fulham are a good side. And today he's, you know, like he said and Elmo said, there's no easy games in the Premier League. They are a good side, and it is going to be a tough game today.
For all that their record here, Lee, really isn't very good. It's bizarre when they'll be going on a good run and they're coming here 3 games unbeaten in all competitions, with Cambridge, League 2 side, in the League Cup, and then Leeds prior to that as well. So they're coming here in good form, but it has been interesting to see. For some reason, they don't seem to pull out their best at Villa Park.
Do you know something? Honestly, I go back as like being a player in certain places that you know, just seem to hinder you or have like a bit of a voodoo where you go to. And listen, I'm not standing here complaining, because I hope that continues on, because I want 3 points today. And that's where, you know, sometimes that delves deep, doesn't it? Where it's almost like a rod on your back straight away. You come into a club which it's not going to be easy for them anyway, because if we perform to where we're at, we should take all 3 points. But yes, I mean, listen, you try and put that to bed. I'm sure Marco Silva would be trying to banish and put that into a box and say, listen, it's a fresh team, it's a fresh start, it's a new season, you know, we'll go and get 3 points here. And as you said, they're coming here off the back of three victories, be it in the Carabao Cup. They'll feel that they've got a chance. Every time I've seen them here, they've played relatively well. It's not like they haven't put a performance in, and that's where we need to be bang at it today. We need to show that enthusiasm and that hunger and desire, and I think we'll beat them again, and I think that will continue on, hopefully.
Hopefully so, anyway.
As a player, would you guys worry about like that stat of not winning here in numerous years, like coming here? Or we just think, oh, it's a different team, it doesn't really matter? Like
the stats is out there, you know, to just break it, you know, so no one worry about stats anymore. You just go out, you know, just do your work. Or just talking about Marco Silva, you know, I spoke very highly about him, and he said he's one of the best managers in the Premier League. I have worked with Marco in Hull, you know, it was early in his managerial career, but as a manager he's very demanding, you know, and if you're not training well, you're not playing a game. You know, it doesn't matter how big your name is as a player, you know, if you're not training well, you're not playing. That's why he's a very successful manager. He did very well Everton, he's doing very well at Fulham. That's why he's getting a big offers from somewhere in Saudi, you know. So for us as well, you know, so it's not going to be easy. But the only thing about Fulham, you know, and I know about Marco as well, they got a weak side on the set pieces. They always concede from set pieces. Yeah. So that's why we need to be at it today. I know we scored in the weekend from a set piece, so we have to take it very seriously, because something can win us the game today.
And the most penalties conceded as well in the season so far too. So try and win those fouls, make the most of those set pieces as well. But Elmo, you've teed it up beautifully for me. What Unai Emery said about Marco Silva in his press conference at Bodymore Heath on Friday.
They have very good coach. The coach is one of the best coaches in Premier League. Tactically, always very demanding in everything about how they are playing with the ball, without the ball. We will need stay very good organized in attacking with the ball, with our positioning, of course, defensive as well, to try to stop them. And Fulham, more or less, the 3 years I am here, Fulham with Marco Silva, we were in the table always so in similar position, fighting to be in Europe, top 10, and I think this year again, Fulham, they started with the last 2 victories they had. I think they started more or less confidence and with the same expectation to be in the top 10.
A few players seem to be quite low on confidence at the moment. So as a manager, how do you help them through that?
We must be demanding, firstly, each one with our responsibility to try to focus, to try and get in our best level. And then, of course, the players around, or the coach around or the manager, we must be responsible to help them. But firstly, start the players and getting his best level, or trying to work to get his best level. Then the confidence is coming when they are performing well. But the most important is, firstly, to do your task and work for the team. And when you are working for the team and you are doing your task, it's coming after the individual performance helping the team. But, of course, now we are lack of different tactical issues, and as well some lack of the confidence is coming after it.
I think a real positive has been the return to fitness of Boubacar Kamara, and also He looks like he's back to his best already, doesn't he?
Really fantastic yesterday. We were waiting his best performance in this season. He was coming injured in Brentford in the second match in the league, and yesterday I think we agree he played a fantastic match, and of course this is the Boubacar Kamara we need, and we will need on Sunday. Of course, yesterday we did a very huge effort physically, because the demand yesterday was huge effort to bring to face them. And for Sunday, of course, it's very important how we are resting, how we are recovering tomorrow, and for Sunday at 2 p.m. Of course, we have to try to be as well demanding for the select players in the starting 11, being of course 100% to play.
Yeah, great to hear from Unai Emery as always. He seems in good spirits, Jed, there. And of course, talking about Marco Silva beforehand, how much respect he has for him. At this point, Unai seems to have his number, though.
Yeah, he's done well against him, hasn't he? And that's an experienced manager, Unai Emery. There, you know, sat there, like you say, he seemed upbeat, and you know, he knows you go through spells like this as a team and performances like this, and you've just got to keep working and come through it. And he'll be leaning on all his experience in the game to help his side come out of it.
It was interesting when he was talking about the transfers and how kind of new they still are to his system, learning about it all the time. We heard the quotes, of course, about Harvey Elliott there a few weeks ago, slightly taken out of context. But Unai just kind of making the point again there that they need to have time really to get into the system and his way of thinking, but he wants to give them some minutes, and that's clearly shown.
Yeah, definitely. Some new players have to buy into the manager's ideas, don't they? That's what it's all about. And you know, at times you have to sit back and observe what's going on the training field, on the bench at times, and then you come on and you have to try and work your way into the side. And that's what I think that why Unai is one of the top managers in the world. He really is, and I say that and I mean it, because I do think his passion, his desire to take the club forward has spoke for itself so far. You know, he's brought big players in. You know, even look at the likes of Rashford, Asensio, who weren't getting games, and he got them moves. You know, he got them playing to a good standard. That's what I don't think he wants to just throw Harvey Elliott in and Sancho in and just go, right, there you go. If you're not performing, the fans are going to get on your back, and all of a sudden you've got to try and pick them players up. Top managers bed their players in, and I know it's probably not the time. Everyone's saying we need to put Harvey in, we need to put Sancho, we need to get all our best players in, but it's not always the way. You need to get them to a level where they're ready to come in, and the fans go, right, I want more of this.
Yeah, you know, that's what the manager likes. You know, the players coming from different system. You know, like Harvey Elliott and Sancho is different system here, so they need to understand the way we play. Like, you know, Lee said, it happened to big players as well, like Rashford, Asensio before. Morgan, when he came, you know, he never started the game for maybe 6-7 games when he came to the club. So it takes time for the players to understand. And the manager touched on it after Sunderland about Harvey as well. He needs to understand in the final third how to make the pass, how to take more touches, and this is the way the manager wants the team to play. So for him to start today, it's a good chance for him today to make his Premier League debut at Villa Park. It's a good chance for him, you know. It's a great day for him. The fans will be behind him, and as well, you know, Morgan next to him, Oli next to him will help him as well, and hopefully as well he can score a goal or get an assist to just get his numbers going.
That's Grace's favourite player as well, so that's why I'm naturally biased straight away then. But also, Jed, it was interesting hearing Unai, because he has been very much a realist, though. He said about where the faults are, of course, in attack then at this point, and the fact that they're just not creating enough at this point. But he was saying there that he is still buoyed by the improvement at least, and it's going the right way, but he is aware of where the frailties are.
Yeah, and all managers will know the strengths and weaknesses of the side, and you know you hope as a team you find all your positives and no one finds your weaknesses. But yeah, he works day in, day out on the training ground. I remember going in the gym at one point, it must have been like 5 o'clock in the afternoon, and he was there on a bike, sweating with his analysis in front of him, making annotations, like, and I was like, my word, you know, that's the dedication that he does. Yeah. And you know, the boys touched on it there with the players coming into the club and Harvey Elliott as well. You know, having worked with Unai, him and his coaching team on a day-to-day basis will take individuals away at the end of a session and work on areas of the tactical side that they want them to do more. Like, for instance, they worked with Tyrone early on to make him step in and break a line with and pass forward. And he would have waited until he feels they're at the level of the understanding of the tactic before putting him in the team. And obviously, I feel now Harvey Elliott is probably at that now. He's been at the club a couple of weeks, and he's ready to chuck him in.
Hopefully so, and hopefully the good form of Aston Villa as a football club and as a collective can continue, because of course it's been a really good week for the youth and the women's team for Aston Villa. So we're going to show you a few clips of some of these goals now. Now, starting with Jimmy Shan's side, they were in action on Friday night. Ben Broggio scored the pick of the goals for the under-21s. They ran out 3-2 winners against Nottingham Forest. So Ben Broggio, who has shown plenty of promise in his career so far, what do you make of that one?
Oh, it reminds me of myself. That was back in the day. What a finish that was. Yeah, I mean, listen, it's great to see some of these young, talented individuals showing that they want to make that step up. That's a brilliant finish. I mean, to drive all that distance and then have the composure to stick it in the top bin. This is what I love watching, the sort of youngsters coming through the system.
Yeah, exactly. Like you say, it's the youngsters coming through the system, isn't it, Jed? And talking about the future, and when you see clips like this, it is so important that we showcase these results and these sort of clips and videos as well. As I take it straight away. If you're watching out of vision, you know exactly what's just happened there. It's only a matter of time. I know, straight from the shoulder blade.
15 yards wide of the goal. I don't know how that's hit
Hopefully they'll be hitting them like that throughout the duration of the game. Goodness me. But it is though, Jen, isn't it? It's key to show the youth.
I'm really impressed by Ben. I've watched him a couple of times in the Youth Cup last season, and he stood out massively, and he's a top talent. And given the boys the platform to go and perform, and you've got the Youth Cup and obviously the 21s as well, and it's a part of their journey, and he's a top player, and I wouldn't be surprised to see him in around the first team soon.
Yeah, hopefully so. Like I say, that's the idea of it, isn't it? Really, it's that you can draft him in
with the first team, in the last few months, which is good for him, to give him just some experience, to just see how the senior players, to train and go on with their work, with the manager as well. So it's good for him, keep scoring some goals, hitting them like this, and hopefully we'll see him in the first team soon.
By the way, with your touch, you might be in and around the first team.
I know exactly. I was going to get me on the bench there, lined up. I know, probably no. I was going to say no, I would definitely not be anywhere near the women's team either, because they've been in good form as well. They managed to snatch a point at the Emirates with Lucy Parker netting a 94th minute winner. Elmo, we love to see these last minute goal equaliser.
Especially as a set piece as well, which is great. Well, it looks like we are great in set pieces, in both teams. So to go in a place like this, Emirates is not an easy place to go. Arsenal are flying; they have a good team, but to get that goal, in the last minute, to get a point from away from home, it's great for them, and give them more confidence and give them, something to look of in the next game as well.
Especially at the Emirates as well.
It's a tough place to go.
Especially Arsenal women are on the lead.
I've seen a few of the girls in there on midweek on Thursday, and they obviously they're saying how things can get a lot better, and obviously they're striving to do well this season, but that's a great result, that is.
Yeah.
The pick of the goals, though, probably came at Bodymoor Heath. The under-18s beat Crystal Palace. Fletcher Boyd did this. So, Jed, I don't know if you've seen this yet, but just have a look at this goal from Fletcher Boyd. Again, we're talking about the youth, the under-18s facing Crystal Palace.
Drop the
no, because obviously I'm a goalkeeper and I'm part of the union.
He used the wind as well,
There you go. What do you make of that?
It's difficult.
Wowza.
A lot of time as a goalkeeper, your manager wants you to play high. They want you to play sweeper keeper, be off your line. It allows your back line to play higher up the pitch as well and squeeze the pitch.
Get another look at that.
Obviously here he's been caught out, hasn't he? And it's one hell of a finish, isn't it? You can see him looking there. He's going, should I? Yeah, go on then.
Oh my word, that is top draw. By the way, that is top draw. I don't care who's
in there. It's not an easy one.
No.
People sometimes, when watch it, you just think it's an easy one to just hit it like that. But it needs to be, perfect. But he did absolutely fantastic there.
Right, lads.
The goalkeeper.
There's a moment where you can see them looking, and you go, oh no.
Right, lads. Okay, I think we finished that on a high, at least looking at some of the other teams. If the first team can match any of those goals that we were just looking at, we'll be on to a good thing. So thank you so much to the three of you for all of your hard work and coming down today. Thank you so much for watching. Mark Regan and Ian Taylor will be your commentators for today's game on the back of this break.
Villains, we wanted to tell you about some updates to our club memberships. There are 5 types of membership on offer, all with some new benefits. First is an adult membership. With this, you get full access to Villa TV content, including all pre-season matches, 100 points towards your position on the season ticket waiting list, continued priority access to home match tickets, and much more. Up next is our women's team membership, which now offers light access to Villa TV, so you can follow all our women's team content, access to exclusive women's team events, and discounts on match tickets to watch the women's team. Next, our video membership